We're back on the Lobo Basketball pregame show. We're joined by New Mexico head coach Rich Pitino. It's the in-season rematch with the Wyoming Cowboys. New Mexico got them earlier this year in the pit. The Lobos have come to the AA in Laramie. And, Coach, a tough place to play. Let's start with the altitude. You mentioned it during your press conference this week. It makes a difference, doesn't it?
I think it does, yeah. I felt last year we were playing really good. I don't remember if we were undefeated or not. I think we might have been. And we had so much energy, and we came here, and it was like kind of running in mud a little bit, So we've done some things to prepare for it, off the court, on the court. The biggest thing I told our guys is, try not to overthink it. If you need a sub, talk to us about it. But everybody's got to be crazy energetic and ready to go.
You're absolutely right. Team got to 14-0 here in this building last year, defeating the Wyoming Cowboys. What about the first matchup with them this season in Albuquerque? I'm sure you've looked at that tape multiple times leading into this one. What do you remember most? What stood out?
Played terrific defensively, creating turnovers. We didn't turn the ball over a lot, and they turned it over a lot. We got Walters in foul trouble, which you never know if you can control that by any means. But, we got to hope to continue to go at them. They made a little push coming back because they're a good team. But I thought overall, our guys were really, really locked in and did a great job for 40 minutes. So, Coach Leonard has done a great job of uncovering some really good players. Cott, Walters, guys who were non-Division I guys and are really, really good players. They found a way in this building, whether it's Nevada, whether it's Colorado State, whether it's Fresno at the buzzer, San Jose at the buzzer, they're winning close games, and that's a testament to a really well-coached team.
You mentioned it. This definitely is a place that's tough to play, and they've been really good in it in league play. In those 4 games, they were down double digits in conference before coming back to win them. That's the sign of a team that's got a lot of fight.
Three-point line, they shoot a lot of threes. UNLV did a terrific job of guarding the three-point line, held them to, I think, 4 threes on the game, and that disruption certainly bothered their offensive attack, but they can put up big numbers. Put up 98 versus Nevada. So they shoot a lot of threes. They're relying on that. We got to make sure we choke down the three-point line. And can't let them be comfortable in there, because when you shoot that many threes, you can go down, but then you can get it back very, very quickly.
Yeah, and 38.5% for the year from 3. That's tops in the Mountain West for the Wyoming Cowboys. Lobo head coach Richard Pitino is with us pregame. We're at the AA, the Arena Auditorium in Laramie. The Lobos and the Cowboys coming up for you on the UNM Sports Radio Network. That crazy stat line, I think I have it right, 24-0 in points off turnovers in the first win over Wyoming. I've never seen anything like that. So unusual to turn a team over that plays, so conservatively at a slower pace. You guys really got them out of their game.
Yeah, you're probably going to win if you have those stats. And we've obviously, that's what we've done very, very well, is turn teams over, and we don't turn the ball over a lot. And a lot of that is it's in the right guard's hands. When you got 3 playmaking guards who all don't turn it over at a high level, good things can happen. So you got to have the same intensity on the road as you do at home when you're not playing in front of 15,000 amazing fans. But everything starts with on the ball. What are you doing on the ball? And are you making that ball uncomfortable?
Every team's different, but the contrast is right there. The game that the Lobos just lost to Boise State, they didn't turn it over as much. You weren't able to get as many points off of turnovers. And you said we have to be able to win those kinds of games as well. There's a defensive discipline in the half court that you've talked about. What does that mean?
It's a simple formula, but it's not easy to do. And, when teams are going to slow it down, get you in the half court, you got to be able to rebound the basketball. Everybody talks about defense. Rebounding it's the cornerstone to a good defense. So we've got to finish those possessions. Can't give them offensive rebounds. Can't give them second chance opportunities. And then we've been pretty good at guarding the three-point line. And last game, Rice hit a few, Abo hit a few. So it's all kind of connected. But as I said before, you're not going to turn teams over all the time. You have to win a variety of ways. And if they want to slow it down and have a big guy bring it up, we got to go get stops in the half court.
Gosh, I remember, Coach, you said before the San Diego State game, we need to get out and run. We need to make shots. We need to play defense, all those things. But the key in this contest is rebounding. You guys were ferocious on the glass in that game. Is that the kind of effort you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, the 5-game winning streak that we had, the effort was phenomenal. I thought we seemed a little bit fatigued versus Boise State. I think we felt as though maybe the crowd would will us into winning that game, and the crowd tried to do it. They did their part, and we didn't. And I think the thing I told our team afterwards is, you're circled on everybody's schedule now. You were a quad 1 win. We've gotten the fans back to where it's a top 10, top 5 fan base in college basketball. People are excited to play us, and they know if they beat us, they're going to get a quad 1 win. So there's a tax you got to pay with that, and you got to be competing your butt off every single time. And that's what San Diego State's built over time. That's what Colorado State, Boise State, Nevada, Utah State, those teams who have had more recent success have dealt with, and we're starting to deal with it a little bit more.
Let's dig a little bit more into the three-point shot. They love it. You mentioned it. Now that we're at the midpoint of the conference schedule, they're playing their best basketball. They're making the three at a good clip. I asked you back then how they get their threes, how they become efficient from the three-point line, and obviously it's a huge weapon for them.
They have good shooters. They space the court properly. They'll go play down low to Mason Walters, and if you don't trap them like Maldonado and Ike, they're going to go one-on-one, and, he's going to be pretty good down there. If you trap them, they're spotting up. They're ready to shoot the ball. So the biggest thing that they have is good offensive players who are going to make shots. That sounds simple, but they've recruited to it, and they understand their system.
We haven't talked a lot about their bigs, Powell and Maniau. It feels like that they're kind of a good tandem, and they sort of play off each other, and they kind of share that position. What about those two guys?
Yeah, Maniau's a really good player off the bench. Powell's got good length, athleticism. Walters is probably the showcase big for them because they play through him a lot, but those other guys are tough, and they're always around the rim, so they can offensive rebound. They can block some shots. They're offensively very, very talented as well.
And I know a player like a Kobe Newton off the bench is on the scout because of his three-point shooting.
Yeah, he can come in and shoot the ball. I mean, it's everybody's got to have a high hand with all of these guards. All of them are extremely capable. And like you talked about, they've been down double digits, and they've erased those quickly due to three-point shooting. So we've got to be alert at all times.
Final question. How about the way that they defend you and how you attack them? You scored 77 on them the last time, held them to 60.
Yeah, they've kind of junked it up a little bit more as of late. They went triangle and 2 on Nevada, on Blackshear and Lucas. They went box and 1 on Stevens, Colorado State. They went 1-3-1 last game versus UNLV. So this league is there's some junk defenses being thrown at you by some coaches, but we've just got to go play basketball. We've got 5 guys on the court that can score at all times. Go play basketball and attack.
Well, the last time you played them, you're coming off a loss against Colorado State and took them down in the pit. Look for a rebound game here at the AA. Best of luck, Coach. Go get them.
All right, thank you.
Lobo head coach Richard Pitino, our guest pregame. We're back after this timeout. It's Lobo basketball from Laramie on the UNM Sports Radio Network. Welcome back inside the Dome of Doom, where the Lobos silenced the Wyoming faithful. You're locked into the Lobo basketball postgame show brought to you by the Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino. Winning entertainment including simulcast racing, live music, dining the best games, and more. That's the Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino. Final score in the Front Range, New Mexico 91, Wyoming 73. The Lobos bounce back after the home loss to Boise State. That did not knock them out of the top 25. They came in ranked 25th in both the AP and coaches polls. They solidify that with a huge win on the road, and now a chance to exact some revenge on Saturday night in the pit against UNLV. My broadcast partner, Lobo all-time great Hunter Green, I'm Robert Portnoy. This is a pretty comprehensive win. The Lobos jumped in front very early. They got a 12-3 lead out of the gate, and yes, Wyoming was able to get even with a 9-point run at a dozen, but they never led. The Lobos were in control, and they just put the pedal to the floor, and the lead was as big as 24 in the second half. How did they do it tonight here in the Arena Auditorium?
Well, they scored 91 points. When you're making baskets, that cures everything. But it was really on the boards. They got offensive boards, stickbacks, points on second chance, 13 points. That's really where they did it. And then, of course, knocking down threes. And I thought they did a better job in the first half defending the three ball. They kind of let Wyoming get out in transition, Winslow especially, knocking down threes. But it was New Mexico's rebounding and, of course, knocking down threes.
And despite the fact that they didn't really do a ton off of turnovers, the way that they dominated Wyoming in that category a month ago, scoring 28 points off turnovers and winning that 28-0, just an unprecedented type of stat, they were still able to get out in the break and scored 15 in the fast break. The Lobos can turn missed baskets into transition. New Mexico can turn pick sixes into transition. They had 7 steals tonight. UNM still found ways to use 94 feet and turn it into a game more the tempo that they like.
Well, those long rebounds. I mean, if you look at the guards, Jalen had 8. From the guard position, those are transition buckets.
And a lot of those are on long rebounds off of missed threes, aren't they? Yep. And that's what was the problem for Wyoming tonight. They made just 1 3 in the first half. They did end up scoring a total of 6 of them, 5 of those in the second. Okay, we take a post-game break. We come back, we'll hear from Lobo head coach Richard Pitino. We're courtside at the Arena Auditorium in Laramie. The Lobos knock off the Cowboys, 91-73. Stay with us on the UNM Sports Radio Network. We're back courtside inside the Arena Auditorium. We're at the University of Wyoming. You're locked into the Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino postgame show, winning entertainment, including simulcast racing, live music, downing the best games, and more. That's the Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino. New Mexico knocks off the host, Wyoming Cowboys, by the final score of 91-73. We're joined courtside postgame by Lobo head coach Richard Pitino. Congratulations, Coach Pitino. Comprehensive win for your team. Wyoming never led, and the lead was as big as 24 in the second half. What stood out for you tonight?
Yeah, I think kind of what you said. I mean, it was just a complete game. Built a lead. Thought they'd throw a punch. You know, they're really good offensively. They can make shots. They did throw a little bit of a punch. We did a really good job of sustaining it, getting some stops when we needed to, and then, converting on the other end. I was concerned about this game. It's always a unique element with the elevation, and I just thought our guys were so locked in. They were mature, and they were ready. I mean, that's three road games in a row of winning by double digits. So they have not lost here in conference. I mean, they've been tough on Nevada, Colorado State, Fresno. They've played really, really well, so it's a great win.
Coach, this team's identity is really becoming their defense, but they made shots tonight.
It was nice to see. Yeah, I mean, some jump shots, kind of like you said. I mean, and it's great to see a guy like Mustafa hitting some shots. Yep. I mean, we shot a lot of threes,
yes.
and I'm fine with that. I want them to confidently shoot the ball. Even Mash, he missed a couple early, and he looked like he was down, and House pulled him over, said, stay confident. I don't know what he said to him. But we answered a lot with some really, really good offense.
And it seems like you guys are shooting at a higher clip when you're in transition. It creates some kind of rhythm.
Yeah. I mean, we've got good offensive players. When we rebound like that, plus 16 on the glass, it allows us to get out on the break. So, I mean, JT was terrific. Nelly was terrific. That's what I told him. You guys both got to leave here getting double-digit rebounds, and they did that.
And your guards. I mean, House had 8.
House had 8. Donovan had 6.
Yeah,
it's what we needed.
Yeah.
We didn't rebound well versus Boise. Did a much better job. If we finish that possession, get out on the break, good things are going to happen for us.
We talked about a pregame, Coach, and we even talked about the San Diego State game when you guys were ferocious on the glass. It was that kind of effort on the boards tonight, wasn't it?
I said that to him in the huddle. I said, we've got to have the mentality that we walk out of the locker room, we're walking into Madison Square Garden, we're walking into the pit, it doesn't matter where we play, and we've got to have the rebounding mentality that we're playing to San Diego State. And it started with JT. I mean, in the first half, phenomenal, and then Nelly caught up. House coming down and rebounding some of those balls was huge.
Yeah, JT 10 rebounds in the first half certainly set the tone. This is a very difficult place to win. This is a pretty cool stat for your team, Coach. This is the first time since 2012 to 2014 when a Lobo program that was rolling back then won here at the Dome of Doom 3 consecutive years. You guys have back-to-back wins here now at 72-20 elevation. You talked about that. They hadn't lost a league game at home. This is a really good feather in your cap for your team, is it not?
Yeah, great road win. I mean, we wanted to make sure we played with great energy. We wanted to make sure the bench was ready to go. We wanted to make sure we fought through that fatigue mentally, physically. And I didn't think we looked too tired, and we were able to sub guys in and out. So a lot of that is mental toughness over physical toughness.
Coach, I thought in the first half you guys really found the jump shooters, the three-point shooters. The second half kind of got away from you. I thought Winslow kind of got some looks in transition. And was there any adjustments you had for second half?
Well, we got a little. We thought they would start teeing up threes. That's how they came back. Colorado State. It's how they come back with all their teams. We did a great job on Walters. We wanted to play one-on-one, and we wanted to choke down the three-point line because they shoot such a high percentage. And for the most part, it was good until the second half. That middle part there, where Wenzel, who can really, really shoot, he's got length. He could shoot over our guys a little bit, but for about 75% of the game, we were really good on him.
I thought maybe the adjustment might have been Baker because with the size.
He was good. When we put Baker in, he was good.
To defend against Wenzel.
Yeah, and that certainly helps. And we got House out because he was a little bit tired.
Something that I liked, and it's a really small thing, JT's been shooting the three occasionally. Hunter pointed out, they're giving that to him. And so he's taking it. He's made a few. He shot the air ball early in the game from three. He came right back and knocked one down in the second half. When he adds the full sort of face-up game to what he's doing down there on the stickbacks, and he's just expanding his game, it seems like, before our eyes.
Yeah, he's been knocking down threes as of late, and everybody's got to make a decision on how you guard certain guys, and that's why we really wanted to recruit a four-man who could shoot the ball. We struggled with that a little bit last year. Mustafa's obviously hitting them. It's certainly a welcome addition that JT can knock those down as well.
How big when both of your bigs are doing what they did on the offensive glass and the glass in overall together tonight, the way Toppin and Joseph did it, both going for double digits.
Yeah, I mean, they run a lot of stuff that keeps both their bigs low, and sometimes they get you helping, and then they get offensive rebounds on the backside. I thought rebounding is what won us the game. JT, phenomenal. Nelly caught up in the second half, and we limited them to those one attempt, more than anything. So kept them to 40%. They shot 23% from three. They're normally about I don't even know what
39.
39
and a half. Yeah.
So that was really good as well.
Coach, 6:30 start. It won't be 3 o'clock when you get home.
Love it. Can't wait for you to stop talking so we can get on the bus. You guys unplug all the gear and let's go.
Let's go.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Congratulations, Coach. Lobo head coach Richard Pitino postgame courtside in the pit. He is awesome. Lobos win it 91-73 over host Wyoming. Take a peek at some of the individual numbers here quickly, and there are a lot of good ones to talk about. Lobos have 5 in double figures. Donovan Dent, my goodness, all-court game, Hunter. 19-7 and 6. 19.7 assists, 6 rebounds. Turned it over just 3 times. He even blocked a shot. He is just blossoming into a superstar.
Oh, well, how dangerous has he become with his jump shot, knocking down the long ball? I mean, that will complete his game, and he's getting better. As you said, JT's getting better at it. I think Dent's getting better at it as well.
No question. Toppin with his 8th double-double, 11 points, 13 rebounds, 8 of those as a freshman. That breaks Kenny Thomas's record. That's rarefied air.
That's huge. I mean, Kenny Thomas is one of those guys. I kind of put him in that category as Ira Harge or, Mel Daniels, guys that came to university and changed and dictated, and created a winning atmosphere. So that's a huge accomplishment for JT.
Jalen House, cold early, stayed the course, finishes 17 points, 8 rebounds, 2 offensive, 4 of 10 3, 4 assists, and House with 2 turnovers, plus 22 when House is on the floor. He's the straw that stirs the drink, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think these guys are all, I mean, it's interesting to see how everyone's just kind of raising their game, their level of play. I mean,
and Amsiel, this is his best game as a Lobo. 13 points, 3 triples. When the Lobos needed somebody to bang a shot, he was there.
Yeah. And credit the guards for setting him up. I mean, Dent and House finding him in transition.
Yeah, the Lobos 16 assists in this game tonight. 16 assists on 32 field goals. You go 1 out of 2 assists to field goal makes. Oh. That's sharing the ball.
Yeah, it is, and that's what you want to see. I mean, that's fun basketball to watch. Everybody gets a piece of the action.
Privileged to be joined courtside by one of the stars of tonight's contest. Double-digit rebounds for Nelly Jr. Joseph, finished with 8 points and 10 boards, 3 of those on the offensive end. Congratulations. Nice win, Nelly.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Terrific performance by your team and pretty comprehensive. What did you think were some of the most important things that your team did to come out on top tonight?
I feel like we get a lot of stuff, like on the we rebound, we run on the fast break. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you did a good job defending Walters, especially when he wanted to turn on that baseline. You would just
Yeah,
chest
just want to
him.
spin. Like,
Yes.
we already know that. So.
You already knew that. Coaches had you prepared.
Scouting.
Yes,
Scouting.
the scouting, huh?
Yes.
Scout is big.
Yes, sir.
So what's it like running next to JT Toppin, a true freshman? You guys are side by side. You're a senior. You have so much to offer. He's so talented. How's that been for you?
That's been helping me, you know. So I have like someone like JT rebounded the ball, so that's given me a lot of like time to rest. So that really helped me a lot. So it's good.
Haven't been a lot of nights where both of you have both double-digit rebounds in the same game. Was there something said tonight? Was there a reapplication to, okay, we have to rebound the basketball tonight? This is going to be really important.
I mean, if JT is not rebounding, I'm rebounding. If I'm not rebounding, he's rebounding. So that's the game.
You guys work off one another.
Yes, sir. We
There was-
compliment each other.
And you're complimenting each other very well. You know, we've watched it, and I feel like maybe some of it early in the season was you hadn't been playing basketball at this pace. You arrived right before the exhibition schedule started, around the Halloween, right?
Yes.
You catch a ball, Donnie throws you a bounce pass. You catch a ball about knee high on a dead sprint, and I thought, oh, that ball could end up in the front row down there. You gathered perfectly, 2 beautiful steps on a dead sprint to the rim and
Oh,
finish.
you're talking about the Euro step?
Yes. A
Yes.
long stride. Is that something
Yes,
you work
sir.
on?
Yeah, I work on that every day, like doing practice. So we have like ski workout. So we usually work on that. Like I have to like work on your finishes and stuff. So
Talk about receiving the pass. Like, you got to be paying attention when
when
has the ball.
when did he have the ball? So I was looking at his eyes. I was like, yeah, he's looking at me. So I was ready. Like that's when I was like took off when.
You got your hands
when
up.
I was ready because I
that.
saw him looking at me. I was like, okay, that ball's coming to me.
Come my way. Hunter was talking about it. You could take one right off the face if you're not, because he's so good.
He's good. Like you have to like I make eye contact with him. You gonna know you gonna pass it the ball. He's really
You got
good
to
at
pay
that.
attention, right?
Yeah, you gotta pay attention for
We
sure.
got to ask you because we were chuckling about it, and everybody in the entire arena. Jalen faked out the whole arena. He went behind the back, and then he threw one, hit you right in the chest. I didn't think he was going to throw that pass. You didn't see it coming.
Yeah, I
did
didn't
you?
expect the pass, you know. So I thought he was gonna fake and finish it. So that's it.
Something else. What's it like playing with guards like this? All these guys can pass.
They can pass, they can score. So it's amazing play with them. I mean, this is the best team I've been on. So
Oh, yeah, that's what a big wants.
Yes.
A guard to pass on the ball, right?
and they can also score the ball, you know.
Yes.
So want to win.
That's a big deal. The best team that you've ever played. You've been on some good teams that I own.
Yes,
This is the best one.
this is the best team for sure.
Why?
Because you have a lot of guys can score, defense, and rebound the ball. So
Nelly,
that's
this
the best team.
great stuff. You guys get right back in the win column after a loss and a chance to get some revenge on Saturday against UNLV.
Yes, sir.
Looking forward to that,
Looking
right?
forward for sure. We can't wait.
Got a score to settle?
Well,
You have a score to settle with UNLV? Get a win?
yeah, we gotta get a win for sure. That's definitely a W for us.
All right. Thanks so much, Nelly.
Thank you.
Good job.
Nelly Jr. Joseph with us postgame here in the Arena Auditorium. Lobos knock off the host Cowboys 91-73. All right, it's time for our adjustment of the game. It's brought to you by The Joint, the official chiropractor of UNM Athletics. And I'm going to offer this one up, Hunter, because this was a very different game from when the Lobos played Wyoming in Albuquerque a month ago. And New Mexico turned over Wyoming like crazy and scored 28 points off of those turnovers. This was different the way UNM scored the ball here tonight. And if you are going to beat Wyoming from the three-point line, that's saying something. And the Lobos more than doubled them up, early in the game, and then they end up outscoring at the three-point line 13-6. That's an offensive adjustment. That's not New Mexico basketball to shoot a bunch of threes. They did tonight. They made enough, and they ran Wyoming out of its own gym.
Scoring 91 points. I mean, again, that's not what Wyoming wants to do. They want to slow it down, half court, keep it in the 60s, and New Mexico still able to impose their will defensively and yet offensively today with the long ball.
Sold out pit Saturday night, 6 p.m. UNLV in Albuquerque. How much fun is that going to be?
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Cannot wait. Bob Walpo, our producer and engineer, Lobo legend Hunter Green alongside. I'm Robert Portnoy. We will talk to you from the famous pit Saturday night. The Lobos knock off the host Wyoming Cowboys. New Mexico improves to 19-4 and 7-3 in league, and Wyoming, with the loss, falls to 12-11 and 8-2 at home. Yep, just their second home loss and their first in conference. New Mexico hands it to them by double figures, and they do it in the Arena Auditorium at more than 7,000 feet of elevation. We say so long for now. We'll talk to you on Saturday from University Arena. Final score for the final time. The Lobos rout Wyoming. New Mexico 91, Wyoming 73. This has been Lobo Basketball on the UNM Sports Radio Network.